As of today, I've written and published over 300 articles in 1 year. And in this video, you will hear my story, the 5 lessons I learned, and how much money I made. It all began in September last year when I finally took action on a dream I wanted to pursue for the 3 years prior. That was entrepreneurship, being my own boss, doing work that was all about my big passion for productivity. Aside from buying expensive courses, I ended up participating in the local startup incubator, a 10-week cohort to develop the initial idea. And at that time, I wanted to build a course about being totally present, but I realized pretty soon that I had no influence at all. So to gain traction and understand what people liked and prove the concept for the course, I released my very first blog post on October 29th with the expectation of further building the website and publishing once a week. But when I came across Seth Godin's blog and realized that he has written a new article every day for over 20 years, I decided to write daily as well. I also had a crazy idea, which I got during a sleepless night, that I should run a YouTube channel and a podcast simultaneously. So here I was, in my own small flat in Kalmar, Sweden, deciding to publish a new article, a new YouTube video, and a new podcast episode every single day while pursuing my master's degree at the time. During the period from the 22nd of November 2021 all the way to the 21st of September 2022, I never missed a daily upload. I wrote and recorded during Christmas, New Year's, my move to Poland, my birthday, vacation, all of them. And in case you're already wondering why I stopped writing daily after 11 months, I will explain that later in this video. The videos and podcast episodes were extremely simple, just me reading out loud and read an article via Zoom. It allowed me to keep up this practice and everything else too. With the articles themselves, I share my blog posts via Twitter and a Facebook group. As a former elite Pokemon Go player, I had gained a following there and expected some attention, which I did not get. 2 months later, I found Medium and republished my articles there too, and did the same with Instagram and TikTok. My first 26 articles were pretty much all about the productivity system I invented that I called One Glance. Then I switched over to habits, email, and some general career advice based on the books I read and my own experience. But during February, I changed my views radically and started writing about my current solution, completely abandoned One Glance and went for the barbell system instead. More on that later. In January, I came across Nicholas Cole and his outstanding book, The Art and Business of Online Writing. I found out about his and Dickie Bush's wildly popular course, Ship 30 for 30, and decided to apply for the March cohort. It ended up being an amazing investment and I gained some traction during that time, and I was selected to join the advanced community, which was called Captain's Table. And on 10th of April, they released a course teaching step by step how to write your first ebook and earn your first dollar on the internet. I ended up buckling down and released my first book in only 4 days. 1 month later, I released another book, The Barbell System. And 1 month later, I released a free ebook for every new subscriber to my newsletter. If you want to learn the full story and the lessons I learned, you can check out this video right here, which will go more in detail on that. So back in June, I was in such a role. I thought I could publish 12 books every year, like 120 books for 10 years. So it was pretty wild. But I did something different instead. I had this epiphany moment back in June when I realized that all the 210 videos I released so far were extremely bad. The production quality sucked and I was not engaged at all. And combined with some other sudden events that popped up, I decided to make some drastic changes. I stopped uploading new podcast episodes and started to put more and more attention on the YouTube channel. I ended up learning Premiere Pro in 5 days, releasing this video right here detailing how I could enter the flow state super fast and get all the work done. I kept uploading once a week and then changed into the current twice a week once I had a greater handle on the process. From July to September, I kept writing new articles every day, but I scaled down more and more. I stopped publishing on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Later in September, I stopped daily writing too, only publishing 2 articles per week from now on. There's a specific reason why I did that, which I will cover later in this video. But before we go into the 5 lessons I learned along the way, feel free to click the like button if you liked the story so far. Thank you for being awesome, friend. My first lesson was that you grow extremely fast by writing daily. And in my whole life, I never experienced so much growth as I had during the last 12 months. Because I articulated my thoughts and ideas and observations in public, I had a much wider grip on reality. Plus getting some new online friends as well. It's also fun to look back at the articles I wrote several months ago and realize how better I've become. Especially with the videos, I thought I was doing good at the time, but they clearly weren't. I haven't listed my old videos if you wonder where they are, but let me know if you're interested and I can provide the links. The podcast episodes are still there and they are basically audio versions of these videos. And of course, rapid growth is a good thing, and I believe in 5 years or 10 years from now on, from this video is recorded, I will look back and cringe a whole lot, which is good. So to you who are watching in 2027 and 2032, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it will only get better, I promise. My second lesson was that it gets easier and easier over time. Because back in November and December, I wrote these very long pieces which took several hours to make. I learned quickly though that the more I wrote, the more I would associate new ideas and get a hunch of what to write next time. And combined with a good capture system for ideas, that's pretty much not been a bottleneck so far. Also, if you're very creative, you don't necessarily need to write at the desk. And I still regularly write on my phone. My third lesson was that consistency is incredibly easy if you love the process. Consistency is an issue that many new writers face. It gets boring and hard, especially when you not see any views or any other results. But for me, consistency has never been an issue. I played guitar for 4 years before I became proficient. It also took me 4 years to go from absolute newbie in Pokemon Go to becoming the first person in Sweden to cross 1 billion XP. So in other words, good things take time. Do not judge who you are right now before you have done it for 10 years. Because if you love the simple act of showing up and getting to the chair, having a nice cup of coffee and listening to some good music, there are few experiences that are as so powerful and so enjoyable as writing. The flow state is incredibly fantastic and I will still do this every day, even if I was successful or not. Because after all, the more volume, the better you become. And if you provide tons of value to specific people, you will get value back for sure. My fourth lesson was focusing on your niche and your audience. And this is something I still grapple on today, by the way. I believe that most of it comes with trial and error. See what works and repeat what's worked and avoid things that doesn't work once you know that it doesn't work. For me, I went from having no niche to writing about anti-fragile hyperproductivity to total living for a very long time, then to productivity for career starters, and right now productivity for new content creators. I will still call myself a very new content creator, and I'm obsessed with productivity for over 4 years now, so for me it's kind of natural to go with this route. The fifth and last lesson I learned was that niche slapping fallacy is real, and now I will answer the question why I stopped writing daily. According to Alex Hormozi and the best-selling book Ready, Fire, Aim, the best strategy if you're new to the game is to only focus on one thing. One product, one avatar, one channel. And the reason is because you have no audience yet. You're spreading yourself too thin if you have multiple businesses and multiple channels to post and basically scatter across all of them. But if you focus all your attention and actions on only one thing, it will take off much faster and it will also more enjoyable in the process since we are wired to do one thing at a time. And this was an extremely tough lesson for me to swallow, since my first book was basically all about posting across multiple platforms effortlessly. But it became clear to me that once I focused solely on this channel, that it felt so much better and I've never felt as much progress as before. These 93-hour work weeks are amazing. So this is why I stopped writing daily, because it was simply a waste of time and energy. I've also expired the renewal of my blog to save some money too. And I simplified my days to accommodate as much hours to this YouTube channel as possible. So now I want to talk about how much money I earned for my first year. Because even if I'm still very new in content creation, I still earn some money. And whether it's luck or sheer effort, I think it's motivating for you to know that even if you're in the very beginning, you can still make some. So I hope this motivates you. The revenue I got so far was on 2 sources, Medium and my own products. If you have over 100 followers on Medium, you can monetize your articles and join the Medium Partner Program. And just like YouTube, authors will get some earnings based on how many people read your articles for 1 month. I became monetized in April this year and started to earn from there. Between May and October, I earned a total of $182 and expect to earn over $50 next month. And then we have my own products, which are my first 2 ebooks and the audio versions of each. Between April to right now, I earned up to $642, plus an unofficial sale of additional $8.99, bringing the total up to $651. So during my first year of writing online as a complete newbie, I earned a total of $833. That might not seem much, but it was a game changer for me because I never expected I would be able to earn so fast. I thought it would take years before I could see anything on my bank account, but it ended up becoming faster. And I report back how much I earn next year in order to be completely transparent with you. And with that said, I hope my story and lessons learned and all of that inspired you in some way, especially if you're a new creator. All this is possible if you simply show up on the web and learn daily from awesome people. As always, click the like button if you like this video, and if you want to hear more about how I wrote 3 books in 3 months only, you can click this video right here.